Today I'm tasting two rums that appear to be solid alternatives to Probitas, and they might actually be better, that remains to be seen. And because of a head cold, I'm doing it 1 week late. But right now, someone is watching this thinking, what the heck is Probitas? Probitas is a lightly aged blend of rums from the Foursquare distillery in Barbados and the Hampden distillery in Jamaica. It's blended and bottled at Foursquare, and while it's called Probitas in the States, it's labeled Veritas in the rest of the world. And I love this rum. So much so that I made a video about it, but the Reader's Digest version is. It's a great expression of the flavor profiles of both Bajan and Jamaican rums, is an excellent sipper, and is one of my all-time favorite daiquiri rums. It's that good. And I love that this is a thing. And by this, I mean a high-quality blend of rums with no additives, made specifically for mixing. Because right or wrong, I'm not keen on making cocktails with this. But I'm not keen on making cocktails with these either, and it's great that now there's a third option. And thankfully, Probitas isn't the only game in town anymore. Enter Transcontinental Rum Line. Transcontinental is an independent bottler that's released some truly killer rums. For example, this is a 4.5-year-old rum from Guadeloupe that instead of being made from cane juice is made from molasses. And this is a 7-year-old single barrel cask strength Jamaican. Funny story, I brought this bad boy home and realized I already had a bottle. I've never had a bottle of theirs that I didn't like, and I'm pretty sure all of their rums to date have been one-offs. Which is to say, buy it now, or you might not see it again. But their high seas expression appears to be an attempt at something more permanent, and whether they meant it implicitly or not, this appears to be a direct response to Probitas. The back label reads, High Seas, a rum blend exemplary of 3 distinct production styles from Jamaica, Panama, and the French West Indies. The first TCRL project designed for mixing and cocktail use. High quality, versatile, original. A rising tide lifts all boats. Rising tide lifts all boats. I love it. The French West Indies could mean a few places, but since the label bears the initials PJM, it's pretty obvious which island they're talking about. So Jamaica and Martinique for flavor, and Panama to lengthen, and also to add some of that characteristic column still dryness. 45% ABV to Probitas is 47%, but I don't think that'll make much difference. And also no additives. Let's try it. And of course, for comparison, overripe banana and tropical fruit. Man, I love this stuff. It doesn't go as hard as Smith & Cross, but those funk notes are definitely there. Flavorful, but still easy drinking. This stuff is great. Less interesting nose for sure. Even though this blend has rum from Jamaica, I'm getting a lot less of that estery goodness. Very interesting. If Probitas is going more in the direction of Jamaican funk, this is going more in the direction of sweetness, or at least what my brain perceives to be sweetness. It's lighter in flavor but still has body, which makes it less of a sipper than Probitas, but since neither of them are marketed as sippers, maybe that's not the best yardstick of measurement. And whatever grassiness is being imparted by the Martinique rum, it's barely there. This is less of a look at me rum and more of a plays well with others rum. My verdict so far, at $30 a bottle, it's not the best, but far from the worst. Now there is one other bottle I want to talk about today, and to be honest, it isn't quite like Probitas or High Seas. This is Myrtle Bank Tiki Blend, and would you just look at that label. It was distilled in St. Catherine, Jamaica, so Worthy Park, was aged in the UK, imported by Liquid Assets in San Rafael, and bottled on Treasure Island in San Francisco. That's cool. This rum is a collaboration between independent bottler Myrtle Bank and Shannon Mustipher. In addition to being a published author, Shannon is a spirits educator, cocktail consultant, and rum connoisseur. And this bottle is not like the previous two in that the juice inside is 10 years old. It is also highly limited. This is one of only 254 bottles. And as such, it's more expensive. I paid $70 for this. But how it's similar is that it is a blend, though from just one country, and it's made for mixing, specifically for tiki drinks. I'm excited about this one. And that it's this color at 10 years old is pretty interesting. Whoo, big nose, but what do you expect from Worthy Park? Lovely. This is a big, bold, stinky rum. Banana, pineapple, just a hint of blueberry. This is definitely the boldest of the three. And intensely aromatic, but it is supposed to be for tiki drinks. Also, this is 100 proof and doesn't have additives. And can we please make rum without additives the norm? It does lack the flavor range of the other two, but yeah, this stuff is great. I only wish it were cheap and plentiful so I could throw it into as many tiki drinks as I can. And speaking of drinks, to wrap up this little experiment, let's have a DAC off. To my tins, I'm going to add 1 ounce of lime, 3/4 of an ounce of simple, and 2 ounces of Probitas, High Seas, and Myrtle Bank Tiki Blend. Shake hard with a big rock, strain, and garnish. Just kidding. Alright, my favorite part of these videos. The mellowness from the Foursquare and the funk from the Hampden make this a lethal daiquiri rum. This is definitely the one to beat. High Seas. And that is a lot nicer than I thought it would be. Remember when I said this rum would play well with others? Well, that trait is on full display here. Even though there's no sugar added, I'm perceiving a touch more sweetness, but overall, this daiquiri is mellow. You could give this to a person with any level of drinking experience, and I'm sure they'd love it. And last, Miss Mustipher. This is actually a bit more mellow than I thought it would be. I was sure this daiquiri would be a Jamaican funk fest, but it's actually blending really well with the other ingredients. This could make a believer out of anyone. So how do these rums stack up? Well, you've got the Probitas at 94 proof and $25 retail, Transcontinental High Seas at 90 proof and $30 retail, and Myrtle Bank Tiki Blend at 100 proof, and though it's marketed as a mixing rum, it's clearly a boutique product at $70. As a sipper, it would definitely be between the Probitas and the Myrtle Bank, depending on your preferences, despite the fact that neither is intended to be a sipping rum. The best daiquiri? I like all three for different reasons, but your favorite will depend on you. Want a poolside sipper that's not going to interfere with the scenery? That's your High Seas. Want a drink that'll talk back? Something you can meditate over? That's your Probitas. And in my opinion, the Myrtle Bank is something in between. Though in all fairness, it shouldn't be compared directly against the others. If you have the resources, I recommend you check out all three, but if you can only get one, make it this one.
Turn camera. Marked. 102, take one.